Hey, what's up YouTube? Lightsaber Samurai here, back again for another video, and this time we are talking about Street Fighter, and in particular talking about the EX series. So for those of you who don't know what the EX series are, they started on the PlayStation as a collaboration between Capcom and another company, I think called Arica, who had their own series of fighting games. They mashed them up together in the arcades first in 1997, and then the home port came to the PlayStation in late 97 in the form of Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. The series itself was pretty successful, and it was Street Fighter's first foray into 3D polygon graphics, which we wouldn't see again until Street Fighter 4 on the Xbox 360, but after Street Fighter EX3 on the PS2, the series just kind of disappeared. So what the heck happened to it? In this video, we will take a look at the trilogy of games that came out, as well as talk about what's been going on with the EX series ever since. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Okay, so like I was saying, the EX series got its start in the arcade where they mashed up with the Street Fighter series, and it was Street Fighter EX in Japanese arcades. When they decided to bring the port home, they brought it to the PlayStation in the form of Street Fighter EX plus Alpha, because this was shortly after the first Street Fighter Alpha game dropped on the PlayStation, and so they added a lot of the Alpha characters too, being that it was so popular. And here's the game here, Street Fighter EX plus Alpha. Again, it is a 2D game, 2D fighting game with 3D polygons. You've got, what is it, like 8 of the original Street Fighter characters. You've got the EX characters from the other fighting series, and then you've got like 12 more Alpha characters for a total of 23, which again in 1997 most games we played on the consoles, the home consoles, like most fighting games, you have a roster of like 8 characters, 7 characters, maybe 10 characters, but to have 23 in a fighting game at the time was mind-blowing. And the graphics, while not the best on the system, definitely for the time in 1997 were really good, and the game looked really good, and had pretty fluid animations. Looking back at it and compared to the other games, it does move slower than the other games. It's a little bit sluggish, but I thought the game was pretty fantastic. The moves are all the same, and it was fun playing and exploring with the new characters. So this one was a blast, and one that I play a lot. So that's the first one. Okay, now moving on with the series a few years later in the year 2000, again, they ported the sequel, Street Fighter EX2, to the arcades, and then we got it as a home port on the PlayStation, and Street Fighter EX2 Plus, again by Capcom. This is possibly the best in the series in my opinion. Kind of teeters between this one and the third one, but this one boasts a huge roster of characters. They added some new characters from the EX series, like the assassin whose name I'm blanking on at the moment, but she's very cool. Kind of reminds me of Nina Williams from the Tekken series. Again, same gameplay, but it's definitely more refined in this version. You've got new the EX attacks where you can chain combos. In the special mode, you can hit the 2 of the buttons in a combination. You go into special mode, all your attacks combo up, and you can even combo them with super moves, and so you can deal big damage with that. The graphics took a huge leap, and even as far as the 3D fighter goes, it's one of the best looking on the original PlayStation, which is, you know, saying a lot, because this was going up against games like Tekken 3 and Soul Blade, rather, excuse me. Compared to those games, I think this looks pretty good. It moves fast. I think it's still at 30 frames a second, but it's a solid frame rate, and the gameplay is really fluid. This pretty much improves on its predecessor in every single way, and like I said, depending on the day, this is my favorite in the series. It's also the hardest to come by complete like this. Usually this game, it's starting to hover around the $50–$60 mark. Definitely worth the price of admission though, because this is a very solid fighting game, and like I said, the EX characters fit right into the Street Fighter universe, and they kind of add a quirkiness to the Street Fighter roster that was missing until we got to some of the later Street Fighter games. But like I said, I love this game a lot. If you find this one, definitely pick it up. Okay, and last but not least, moving on to a new era, and in 2000, we saw the launch of the PlayStation 2 here in North America, and this came out as a launch game on the PlayStation 2. This is Street Fighter EX3, and I hadn't really been exposed to the EX series until this one came out. Graphics wise, it's not the best looking game on the system. Like I said, it was a launch title, so it's an early game, but even by those standards, I thought the graphics were okay at the time. They haven't aged as well as some of the other 2D fight, or excuse me, the 3D fighting games from the time, like Soul Calibur 2 and the like, but the gameplay is definitely there. It's a fun game to play, and they kind of mix up the gameplay styles a little bit as you go through the arcade mode. There'll be two-on-one battles sometimes where you're controlling 2 characters at once. Sometimes you're controlling 3 characters at once, going up against 1 character. Sometimes it's 4 CPU characters against you, and of course they have shortened health bars, but it's 4-on-1, and this game is crazy. And shout out to this game for having the best ending sequence of any video game ever. While the credits roll, the character you beat the game with, you're sitting there and you just take out waves and waves of guys as the credits roll. There's one guy in particular who gets larger every time you kill him, and he respawns, and by the time you're done with the credits, you know, towards the end, then he's like just this huge giant, but you're still just like putting the super moves on them. During the end credit sequence, of course, you have unlimited special bars, so you can just spam off your special attacks over and over again to try to see how many foes you can knock out before you get to the end credits. And like I said, that was hugely entertaining and something unique that I haven't seen in another game since. And they need to add more stuff like that in video games. But yes, Street Fighter EX3 is among my favorite fighting games of all time, simply because just a combination between the memories I have with it, my first impressions with it, the new characters. Like I said, the EX characters fit right in with the regular Street Fighter characters, so much so that I thought they were Street Fighter characters the first time I played the game. After this, they kind of went their separate ways, and we got no more of the EX games. Now, Arica, who made who created the EX series of games, they hinted that they were coming out with a new series, a new game in the EX series in 2017. People thought it was a joke, but then it actually got released in 2018 on the PlayStation 4. And I can't remember the name of the game off the top. I was looking at it the other day. I will be importing it though, because it came out in Japan only, and it was on the PS4, but the PS4 is region free, so I will definitely add that so I can complete my EX set. But the EX series itself exists without the Street Fighter collaboration, but I would love to see these guys team up together again sometime in the next decade and release another, a Street Fighter EX4 Plus. I think that would be fantastic, and I think that that's really what the series needs as far as the Street Fighter series. I feel like it's starting to get a little stale, and it's kind of falling off again. It ebbs and flows like that, the Street Fighter series, but I feel like it's kind of going on a downturn, and a new game in the EX series would be just the shot in the arm that the series needs to get back on track. But what do you guys think? That's pretty much all I got for this video. I just wanted to take a quick look at that. Shout out to my boy Garrett Spencer. I was watching a live stream of his last week, and he was talking about the EX series, so thought I'd put together this video real quick since I had all 3 games. And it is a great fighting series that just kind of got left behind. But again, what do you guys think about the series? Questions, comments, concerns, threats in the comment section below. Is this something you would like to see return to form within the next decade? As always, if you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. If you haven't done so already, you'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. Lightsaber Samurai out. Peace.